So patches started showing up again. This time they were bigger, right? I'm like, what the heck is this? I'm not on that stuff anymore. What is going on? Well, let's not forget the fact that I'm in my 50s. I'm in full menopause, hallelujah. And and uh, and that comes with imbalances also of the hormones. You know, maybe that's not the word, but our hormones, sort of change because they're like when we have our cycle. Estrogen is high in our bodies, is regulated in our body, and then testosterone rises. And I've learned so much through this whole process, right? So, or maybe it just doesn't rise; it continues to regulate because the other one is going down. So I know in the U.S. menopause has, I think when I was growing up, menopause had been advertised a lot of times so negatively. So you don't even know much. Most mothers don't talk to their children about that, or to their daughters. I think even sons need to know about that so that when they're married and have their wives and they're going through this, they could be a lot more supportive and more because they're educated, on it. It's like, hey, we didn't choose to be like this. This is how we've all been created. So how do we accept that and live with it? With the most highest part of the harmony, because women go through heat waves and this, the lights, blankets off. I have to say, I don't know how I escaped that. I watched my sister, I watched my friends around me sweating up, and I don't know how I escaped that, but I think because, I don't know, but I'm going to say that my committed habit of moving my body daily, I think has rescued me, honestly. And really choosing to, I really watch what I put in my body. If things that don't come into this temple to make me feel higher in myself, I eliminate. If it makes me feel weak, and I'm the type of person right now, if I put something to my mouth and right away I don't like it, my body says no, I leave it right there. So, but again, because I've lived with all these allergies, at one point the doctor had me carry a calendar. What did you eat today? What time? Da, 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 just to pay attention to what's causing all these, inflammations or reactions on my body or rashes. And we had to eliminate everything. We had to go from, move all the dairy and start introducing it. I found out eggs make my eyes pop, and but I've changed since. Anyway, moving back, so that whole idea of self-care is not a game. I recommend women, if we can teach our daughters to self-care early, and I don't mean just like doing our nails and doing lashes and lipstick. I mean like taking time out, setting boundaries, delegating, those type of things, those habits. We need to incorporate them on a regular basis. So here I was faced. So anyway, so my nieces and nephew, everybody, they live with me. I set them off to school, and then I decide I saw my doctor. I saw my holistic doctor. I have a holistic doctor because I believe in natural medicine, food as medicine, and then I have a primary care doctor, so that if I need X-rays or whatever, all of that, it could be taken care of. Anyway, so I saw them both and they were like, maybe it's a little stress. Let's increase vitamin D. Have you been in the sun? Have you, what are you doing? Relax, blah, blah, blah. I did blood work, your hormones everything else was good. But definitely my hormones had started shifting because of, the age and stage. So I decided to seek a trichologist, Dr. Muli, in Kenya. Number one, I chose to go to Kenya because it's so much cheaper than going to the US. Oh my God, it's like a fraction of what you would really pay. So then what happened after that was I came to Kenya, I got my appointment, I got to see him, and he did all that measuring. He took what they call the scope. He went on my scalp and we could see it on the screen what was going on. There was some areas that were dry, but those patches that the hair had broken off. he classified them. I don't even remember the name because I'm not a doctor. I can't even say that word. But all I do know, it was caused by stress. And so when he asked me about, what's causing me stress, I was like, my life is great. I'm in this beautiful home that I worked hard for my children, and I'm feeling so proud. I'm feeling great. I'm in all the things. I don't know what you're talking about. I've got my 2 babies. They're going to college, And then he said, no. Something must have happened about 2 to 3 months ago. And I thought to myself, I was like, what could have happened? And I was like, I moved. Oh yeah, I said, and very lightly, I said, yeah, and my niece and nephew moved in with me. And he said, bingo! Like, to all of those things happening at the same time, And he, stressors. So let me just put it out there. If you are stressed, your hair will, I've known this, right? Stress is one of the 5 reasons you would lose hair. High levels of stress. Minimal levels of stress in our body is good. High levels of stress will affect your hair, and your hair will start shedding. Usually you get that response 2 to 3 months later. It can happen if you have a loved one that you lost, if someone dies in your family, in your mourning, you could lose your hair over that. Students when you're under a lot of pressure, students going to school and doing exams, that's another time we could lose hair. In fact, you'll see students pulling their hair with really poor habits because of the intense pressure, and all of that is happening subconsciously. Like you're not even realizing that that's happening, and then a couple of months pass, weeks later, and you're like, where did my hair go? You don't see it all right away, but you see increments of it. We actually don't recognize until something is missing. One day you're like, wait, something is off, right? So anyway, so here we were. He recommended the treatment that he thought I should have, and at that particular time, I got some injections to the area. I had some supplements, vitamin D3, which they help rejuvenate the follicle. The follicle is the one that allows the hair to actually grow out of that. And so I was like, okay, let's do this. So 3 months after that, my hair was restored, But now I'm thinking about some other things, my hair is growing back, but it doesn't really look like, the way I like it.